Morning everyone. So I hope you guys are having a good Thanksgiving. If you just had that, congratulations. If you're not in America, what are you doing with your lives? No, all right, so I just wanted to brief with you for a moment about things that have a V2, right? A follow-up, a second version. Today we are talking about the Kylin or Kylin or whatever you want to call this. I call it the Kylin, from Vandy Vape. And without wasting too much of your time, I had the original one and I liked it. But a quick Google realized that I didn't have all the versions. The one I had was kind of this two-handed cup thing with like holes that went all the way out. Kind of like one of the Wotofo RTAs, one of Mike Vape's guys, yeah. But it was in an RTA form and I really liked it. It was a single coil. It was really good with like kind of a fatter Clapton, something that had a slightly slower ramp up speed. Like I said, I didn't know what version of the old one I had because there were two. There was a single coil with the cup airflow thing that I had that I really liked, and then there was another version that just said 24 millimeter, or it was the same as the Kylin, whatever it is that I had, but that was a two coil. This is also a two coil or dual coil, but something I found out that's interesting about this one is that, again, like I said, it's a V2 to something that I already liked. I thought it was a V2 to the single coil. So I was like, cool, they did this really cool little airflow with the single coil. Now they've done it in dual mode, which is very similar to what I'm about to show you. But honestly, my thoughts with this are that they've done a good job. Okay, now I'm just gonna try and go through this atomizer and tell you why I think that. So yeah, anyway, without further ado, which I've been doing quite a bit now, let's get this cotton out of here and I'll show you the whole internals. Right, so here on either side is a larger airflow channel that just goes straight up and down. Underneath, however, as you can see clearly, it's got that little bed of small holes. So there is just a slight more restriction in the middle than the outsides, and I personally like this just because the faster airflow, so to speak, is going right around the outside of that little cup, which is going to create just a tiny bit of turbulence and cause some mayhem on the inside. Really, this is a whole game of pressures. And so what they've done is they've adjusted the centermost section to create slightly less pressure, less speed, less velocity than the outsides. And so the center would kind of have like a low pressure zone, which again is going to kind of encourage everything to go up. I'm not making this up. Kind of, but looking at it, I went, oh, that's what they did. So I hope my brain's right when it comes to looking at the airflow and how they did things. Yeah, so yes, I like it. However, this isn't even that big of a deal, guys, honestly. But I think if they had wanted to accommodate for slightly larger coils, what they would have done is just simply take off a little bit of material on these corners here. And again, keep it within the ring like you do. You know, keep it all within this space, but we're basically opening that up just a tiny bit more. You see how they're like the drill's stopping? If that part of that coil had been smoothed off, if that part of the post, excuse me, had been smoothed off, that would open up this cotton space just a tiny bit more. Now they could have kept this space down here identical. They could have kept all that the same. I'm not mad at that at all. Just saying, for when you go to stuff the cotton in, it really wants to kind of bunch up behind itself and go high. Now, yes, this accommodates for, or not accommodates, this acts as a chamber reducer inside this little piece, which isn't bad, okay? Now, I'm not meaning to ramble, but that's the only real con I've found with this. I've been vaping this pretty consistently for about a week solid that is, and you know, there's some little things, like they've included the bubble glass, which I don't care. They've included this little drip tip here that's undercut so that when you put it on, oh come on, behave, there we go. When you put it on, it kind of, you know, encompasses the top of the cap to make this sort of blocky thing, you know. It's massive, right? You know, it's a cool and different look. Obviously when you go to refill and all that stuff, it's got the little slidey top cap, and yes, you still have the juice on top. It's the same as everything else. Delicious, by the way. It's got the little little holes for the airflow in the center and the kind of the larger openings on the sides, but the larger openings on the sides aren't massive, they're quite small. So again, when you turn the airflow down, as I've done, you're not really, you still have the restriction just before the coil. Barely, but you do still have it. When it's wide open, you definitely have the restriction right before the coil. And keep in mind, if you were to build the coils slightly lower towards the airflow, you could actually kind of mitigate how much air can actually pass through. Obviously, the taller you build those coils up, the more the air can kind of run around, and you've got a slightly larger spray pattern of vape, which would be cool, especially if you wanted to go clouds bro clouds. I was vaping this at 100 watts, which is a lot. When I shut it down about halfway through the airflow, it's probably like 70, 80 watts. So again, closer to that 3.75 to 4 volt range that I was talking about the first time. And I liked it. It was very flavorful, it was chill, it was really good on juice. And again, I think that was just my little cottoning method where it's only drawing in as much as it has to, I guess. Yeah, I don't know why it's good on juice, but it is. So there you go. I can't explain that one to you, and I should be able to. I've been doing this for that many years. Yeah, so cool. I think they've done a V2, rightfully so. Like I said, it started the video with, you know, why do a V2? Usually you want to do a V2 to like improve something or add a feature, or in this case 2 coil instead of 1 coil. But I like what they've done. I do. Slightly smaller coils, ever so slightly smaller coils I think would be perfect in this. And then you can adjust the height up and down to accommodate what you want out of it. But yeah, I like it. It looks good. So I'm gonna build this and we're gonna vape and see how I like it. Let me show you what this thing can do. I'm at 100 watts, which is 4.4 volts. I can't even hang. Oh my gosh. She chucks. Somebody commented, don't say she. So, it chucks. Yeah, this is at 100 watts. Let me bring this down to like 4 something. 3.75. Close my airflow down to 1/3 open. And this is slightly more chill, but not by much. That's kind of what I prefer. I get the nice heat. I get the, obviously, tons of flavor. I am going to change this little drip tip back out to the other one I had because, come on, oh man. Nope. There it goes. So the drip tip I had is slightly smaller. The one that comes with it is a nice little resin thing. And again, if you win this one, because I'll be giving it away, you'll get the little resin tip in there as well. So yeah, final thoughts. Honest to God, guys, I can't find too many faults with this. The two big... Again, not really complaining. The two big things I didn't enjoy was you have to use less cotton than you think for the size of the coils that are coming with it. 3 mil. Usually it's a lot of cotton just to kind of make sure that everything's pushing out against the coils. The build I just did, I didn't put too much cotton in, and you guys saw that. The other potential con is that the terminals that you put the coils into are slightly wider than most standardized coils. You know, if you buy a bunch of coils in a little pack or something like this, and you know, it comes with certain ones, like the diameter from lead to lead is a fixed distance. Usually it's about 7 something mils. This one is just outside of that, and so the leads on your coils do kind of bend a bit. You can accommodate it for, you know, doing your little heat treat, but those are really the only two things I don't like about it. Again, don't like is relative because this is a really good RTA. So those are the only two things I can't like 100% get on board with, right? When I go to build this, I'll pre-bend them or get coils that are slightly wider. When it comes to using cotton, I'll use less cotton. I know that now. Not a big deal, guys. Not a big deal. What I'm trying to say is that this is a really good, excuse me, my seat just died here. Where's my little, there we go. Aha! See? Much better. This is a really good RTA. For the price, for what it is, for your building options, your ability to do so, etc. I like it. I would not find any particular fault in this such that it wouldn't let me buy one, recommend one, do all that kind of fun stuff. So again, if you like this, you can find it, I believe, on esigcity.com, eSig City's website rather. You can find it on Vapor DNA, you can find it everywhere. It's available, which I also like, right? That's a pro, let's call it that. I'm just fishing for stuff now, guys, sorry. Yeah, I would possibly fault it with too much airflow, too large terminals, big coils, and not enough cotton space. So if the cotton space was more, then everything would match. And again, you could put smaller coils and still have the cotton space fit because the opening for the cotton wouldn't have increased. It's the same, I think. Yeah, thanks for hanging out with me. Hope you guys had a wonderful Thanksgiving, as I mentioned. If you're not following me already on Instagram, go follow me. Subscribe for YouTube stuffs. I'll be doing the giveaway probably through, I don't know, YouTube or Instagram. You guys let me know in the comments which one you want to do. I feel like the Instagram crew and the YouTube crew are different people, which is actually kind of fun because then I have to I gotta do twice as much work, you know? Double get you guys. So yes. I had something else I wanted to say. If you don't have the bell on, get the bell on. And I will see you guys on the next one. Bye. With that much power, I mean, you really do get, you know, that some little crackles and, oh, I got fuzz on my lens. Great. Time out. All right, got that cleaned up. So what I was trying to explain was that I don't know what I was trying to explain.